What's going on, my fellow Jedi and Padawans? Welcome back to another Jedi gaming video. Thank you guys so much for coming back to the channel, and if you guys are new, welcome. The last couple build videos absolutely popping off. I hope y'all are liking those a lot. We have definitely many more to come, changing up the exotics, changing up the fragments, really making that Solar 3.0 builds just come to life and pop for you guys in all situations of the game, PvE, PvP, endgame, everything like that. Now, today, in this video here, we are going to be talking about our Week 3 Severance mission in Grief. Let me tell you, if you haven't played through it yet, it was amazing, and the cutscene at the end was just perfect. They are killing it with the storyline, everything for this season with lore, the backgrounds of the Crow, Zavala, everything like that is just chef kiss. It's immaculate for me. I have loved every second of it, so I don't want to spoil too much of it in the video with the cutscene, but we are dealing with Zavala and his grief of his wife. So this one right here, we're going to take you through. It's a nice little switch from the other Severance missions that we had dealing with Aldrin. So very, very fun little thing we got here. So when we load into the mission here, we are back in the underbelly of the Leviathan. Now for this, we have a couple different things that we have to go through. Again, setting down those beacons to kind of bring in that nightmare and tie off those different sections for Erismorn to isolate it, as well as shooting our Egregores link to get through those barriers, which we can't unless we have that activated. So when we first load in, there is going to be an area that we can't cross based on an electrical wall. So we have to work our way to the right, and we actually end up in this little garden area where we have to deal with some enemies. Now inside this garden area, before you leave, there is actually one of our collectibles, which is the Automaton of Calus, which he just gives you a little message, and it's in all of our SEVER missions. So there was one in our first two, and there will be one in our next three as well. So once you defeat those enemies and collect this Calus Automatron for our triumph this season, then we can move on, progressing through the mission here. Now, actually, as soon as we keep going, there is a door that we can open. When we open this door, instead of going to the right, like it tells us where we actually have to work our way and shut down that electrical area so we can work through it. If you go to the left right here behind these boxes, it's actually our Calus Bobblehead for this mission. And then we only have 3 more to find for that triumph as well, and they will just be in our different SEVER missions for the next 3 weeks as well. So after we collect that Calus Bobblehead, you will see that we have to move around this electrical wall, working to where we actually have to bring it down, like I said. Now this incorporates grabbing one of those heavy objects, which is the wrench, and working our way through this little path where we actually have to crouch down above the electrical field and make our way on the pipes to where we actually use the wrench to turn off that full electrical field. The path is pretty easy. You just work your way like I am here. You just got to kind of watch out because it is a little skinny pipe. So if you do sway left or right, there is a chance that you can fall off. And if you fall without turning it off, the electric kills you. And then there is also an emptiness underneath the pathway. So you just got to watch out for that. Now, when you finally take down that electrical current so you can make it into that area, like I said, make sure you're jumping on the platform because that water is like an abyss and you will die as well. So we just keep progressing now through the underbelly of the Leviathan, working our way towards Zavala. Now once we continue to work our path here, there becomes a point where we have to defeat Scorn because Zavala got ambushed while he is looking for that nightmare of his wife. After we defeat the Scorn in the area, it's just a counter from 0 to 100%. Wipe out all of those enemies in the area. They will kind of keep spawning from almost these 4 different rooms and kind of work its way into that center big one where we will eventually have to climb straight up. But there is a barrier that we have to get rid of once we defeat the Scorn and throw down one more of those beacons. The actual barrier goes away and we can climb up through that center area and work our way up to Zavala. Just a little jumping puzzle here, nothing too crazy to go through. And then once we reach Zavala, we hear him talking to his wife that has passed on about their son. He has a little moment, and then we continue to move on, where we are basically at the boss. We just have to set down one of our last beacons, so the actual SEVER mission gets all tied together for Eris, and then we go drop down and deal with the boss, which was actually the Fallen that happened to defeat Zavala and his son in battle, where his wife couldn't save him. So that is how Zavala lost his son. Now, the boss fight for this one is pretty simple. It's just kind of like we had before. We have the area which we are dealing damage in this main area right here where Zavala is. Now, you have to defeat a set of Scorn in the area for the nightmare to actually spawn. Then once he spawns, same kind of concept as always. We do our DPS on the boss to a certain point. About a third of his health bar is gone. He will actually teleport away for a while until the Scorn in the area is defeated again. Once we wipe out all the Scorn in the area, he will actually spawn back in, and we can continue our DPS phase again for another third of his health, where he will teleport one more time and just rinse and repeat. Defeat all of those Scorn in the area, and then all of a sudden the boss will come back up, and he is pretty easy to defeat, so we just can wipe him out very quickly once we defeat all those Scorn. And then the mission is over, and we have started the SEVER for Grief with Zavala, his wife, and his son. Now grab that chest, get some loot, and watch the cutscene when you go back to the tower and to Eris Morn on the helm. She gives you a wonderful, wonderful story about Zavala and everything that happened with his wife and son. It is one of the best cutscenes that they've come out with. Lore-wise, just in general, very, very intriguing, and I couldn't stop watching it. So hopefully you guys enjoy this kind of content with the SEVER missions, finding the collectibles in here. We are going to get back to some builds this week with the season already being kind of done with, being at max level. There isn't really much besides the SEVER missions and so are the 3.0 builds to go through. So once again, thank you all for watching and the support lately. Truly, truly appreciate it. I will catch y'all in the next one. Peace.